Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete, and we have something that definitely has one heck of an on-throttle experience. It's this car right here. This is a 2020 Shelby GT500. But before we get into this supercharged super Mustang, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Shelby GT500 is probably one of the most iconic nameplates in automotive history. The first year of the GT500, believe it or not, was not 1965, it was 1967. Still available was the Shelby GT350, but Ford wanted to put that big block engine underneath the hood, and that's where we get the beginnings of the GT500. Now, eventually the GT500 would meet its demise in 1970, and the fascinating thing about that is that technically those 1970 model GT500s in reality were 1969 model year GT500s. They didn't sell very well, and there were a bunch still sitting on dealer lots, so Ford was able to work it out with the Department of Transportation to get the VINs changed to make them 1970 models. Now, fast forward to the year 2007. That is the next iteration of the Shelby GT500. It was back, and it was back in a very big way. And from then on, the GT500 really brought back that ultimate in Mustang performance. Because remember, it sits on the Mustang chassis, but it's been pumped up with lots of steroids. Now, this iteration of the Shelby GT500 never made its way over to Las Vegas, where they have the workshops and the home base of Shelby American, but it still is a vehicle that I know if Carroll Shelby was still alive today, it would definitely meet his approval. But what I want to find out is, even though they stopped making the GT500, once again, is this the greatest Mustang of all time so far, production-wise? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this car and find out. Right off the bat, I just love the style of the GT500. Definitely mean and extra lean. When you think of this car, a lot of times you don't see rapid red, and that's the color on this car, rapid red. It doesn't get the justice from many of the fans. A lot of the fans want to see the blues, want to see race red, but really rapid red is that cherry on top of the Shelby Sundae. Now, at the front of the business, I think that the older style headlight design from the S550 platform was the better one. Love the way you have your tri-bar, daytime running lamp, your LED headlights. You do have wider fenders and a front fascia. One of my zonks since day one, they should have made that functional. This is just gloss black plastic. Would have been nice to have some arrow work flow through the front of the car, through the fender, and then out the side would have been really, really nice. But still has that wide, aggressive look. You do have massive corner air intakes. You can see the heat exchangers from behind, that honeycomb finish, wire mesh, looking just really, really spot on, the performance car money. And then you'll notice the addition of our splitter. Now, this one doesn't have the carbon fiber track package, which would give it an extra large splitter, and those dive planes that get attached to the side, plus the carbon fiber wheels, carbon fiber rear wing. This one is your standard GT500. Now, as we come across the front, it does have the over-the-top stripes, but they are vinyl. They are not the painted stripes. Working our way down, the largest Cobra, be careful, Steven, that thing's gonna bite you in the neck, largest Cobra badge ever on any Shelby, with the wire mesh finish, fully functional. Somebody needed to put a front license plate mount on this, and it kind of really takes away from the front of the vehicle. But one other thing that's always bothered me is the amount of gloss black. Large gloss black area in the center. This one, somebody put the vinyl inserts to make the GT500 pop. And then you have more wire mesh, fully functional, and those over-the-top stripes. They go all the way back. Now, you could have received painted stripes, but that was a $10,000 option to have painted stripes. But let me know your thoughts on the face of this GT500. And another thing I want to point out, we're not taking the Mustang GTD into consideration. That's not a normal production Mustang. That is something that gets built at Multimatic Motorsports in Canada. The finished product does, and definitely the price tag is not a normal Shelby or Mustang price tag. So when we're looking at this car as being the greatest of the Mustangs since day one, that's what we're looking at up to this car, not the Mustang GTD. That's something totally different, but there is some connection, which you'll see between this car and the GTD. Now, as we rise up, you got that big bulge. Put away the socks. You don't need to overcompensate for lacking anything because you got the bulge. Functional heat extractor. It's going to drag that hot air out from underneath the hood. And you'll also notice that we had the return of hood pins, factory hood pins. The designers and the engineers felt that that had to be there, or there was a chance that you could get that hood to lift a little bit. But really cool, just from a look standpoint to have them, but they're also real hood pins. Now, as we come around those wide fenders, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. So you're gonna notice 20-inch wheels, split spoke design, gloss black. You got your 6-piston, ginormous. It's as big as Ronald McDonald's head. This almost looks like his head with the bright red, because obviously Ronald McDonald has red hair, duh. But those rotors are 16.7 inches in diameter. They're 2-piece. We do have Magna Ride suspension. And if you're wondering about tires, they're Steven's favorite. They're new Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. And if you're wondering about the size, 305 on the width up front, 30 series sidewall. And I don't know what it is with Ford, but they always get that perfect stance, that perfect look when the car isn't moving with the way that they dial in the suspension. Not a bunch of wheel gap like you find on, or fender gap, I should say, when you look at other vehicles from other brands. Now, coming down the side, we got another Cobra badge. Love that. Goes all the way back to 1967 on the GT500. From the side, you can't deny the dimensions or the look of this Mustang. Really harken back to 1967, the birth of the GT500. Remember, 1965 was the birth of the GT350. Those over-the-top stripes, I wish they were painted, but these are vinyl. This car does not have the side stripes. It's a side stripe delete car. You could have got a pair of black side stripes to match the stripes over the hood. When you're looking at the rear, so you're still gonna get your Brembos out back. You're not getting some floating stock Mustang rear caliper. You're getting 4-piston Brembos. And then tires out back, of course you need more rubber to meet the road. These are 315s on the rear, 30 series sidewall, and of course, on top of all this, there's an electronic limited slip diff to get power to the ground from this rear-wheel drive car. Spinning around back, I love that fastback design. You have your standard GT500 rear spoiler. There is an additional gurney flap that could be added to give it a little bit more downforce and a little bit more aggressive look. Love the tri-bar taillights. That massive, another massive Cobra badge. And then working our way down to ground level, those exhaust outlets are 5 inches in diameter, slash cut. You do have the Ford Performance exhaust. You can make it quiet. But who wants to drive around a quiet Mustang, or especially a Shelby GT500? Open those up, and you're just gonna let that V8, supercharged V8 sing. It has a unique rear diffuser, fully functional, and there is an engine oil cooler, trans cooler, and diff cooler for that track operation to keep the temps in check. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood pins and raise that hood to check out the heart of this GT500. All right, guys, we got the hood raised. Now, one thing you'll notice underneath the hood, you'll see this metal shield here. This actually you could remove when you go to the track. That will allow more heat to leave from underneath the hood. The reason why they have this shield here, it's a rain guard for when you're just daily driving on the road. Now, underneath the hood, you'll notice that Massive strut tower brace with the Ford Performance badge, stiffen up the front. And of course, we got that hand-built badge. Somebody by the name of Matt hand-assembled that Predator engine. That's that Shelby GT500 supercharged V8, 760 horsepower, 625 pound-feet of torque. Now here's the fun thing. The fun thing is that that's the same engine that is in the upcoming Mustang GTD. Now the engine in the Mustang GTD produces 815 horsepower. So you are getting more horsepower, but remember, starting price for a Mustang GTD is $325,000. Just something to think about. Now this doesn't have a transaxle like the Mustang GTD. It's got the transmission bolted right to the back of the block, but it is a 7-speed Tremec dual clutch transmission, 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, quarter mile in 11.2 seconds at 131 miles an hour. Top speed is 180 miles an hour. The car weighs 4,171 pounds. MPGs, if you really care about MPGs, you're looking at the wrong car. I'm sorry. But MPGs, 12 in the city, 18 on the highway. But boy, oh boy, just looking underneath the hood, seeing the massive throttle body, seeing that top-mounted supercharger, those are the things that muscle car dreams are made of. But why don't we go ahead, get your tissues ready. I want to give you a little eargasm with this Mustang GT500. All right, guys, we're in it to win it inside this Shelby GT500. I love getting behind the wheel of one of these any time somebody wants to throw me the keys. But you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, I really think that the Shelby GT500 is the greatest Mustang of all time, and I want one. How much is it? This particular one, the way that it's spec'd, the asking price is $114,886. Let's see what you got when you went GT500 to the door panels. Same overall design as any other Mustang of the S550 platform. What they did was they added the black and white stripe that's diagonal there. Kind of cool touch. I wish they would have done a little bit more of that. You do have white contrast stitching. Everything else is the same as a Mustang GTD. So you let me know in the comment section if you want to zonk that. Door pocket is large enough for a big Buford, a Checkers fry, and a strawberry milkshake. Now going from the door panel to the dash, I love the anti-glare finish that they put on the dash. It does not have the optional carbon fiber, obviously. You got your GT500 chassis plate number, unique to this car, the B&O sound system, and another thing that I love are the analog oil pressure and oil temp. Working your way down, you have your 8-inch infotainment system. It does what it does. I'm just glad it's not a big, huge screen like on the new Mustangs. Call it dated, call it whatever you want. I don't care because we're in a GT500. We have our dual climate control, which is nice. You got some toggle switches for your different modes, open up the exhaust, an aluminum start-stop button, which looks good, USB-A, a 12-volt, get a radar detector, your life depends on it, and a place for 3 Twinkies. Rotary dial control for your transmission for the 7-speed DCT. I like the way they put some of the stripes here. 2 cup holders, and then you have, there it is, it's gonna bite you, that Cobra on the key fob remote start. Soft touch material with the stitching. Inside you got another 12-volt, a USB-A, and you could put a jar in here. The jar is for the people that went and bought Mustang GTDs and spent, you know, $400,000, $500,000 when you could get one of these, and you got 760 horsepower and a car that's pretty darn fast that they don't make anymore. That's kind of cool. So keep that jar for the tears of those Mustang GTD owners. Seats, love them. Recaro, it's got the embroidery with the Cobra, the two-tone. Manual controls, I'm okay with that because these are Recaro race seats. The nice thing is when you go carbon fiber track pack, you do get a rear seat. And they did put some Alcantara in there and some stitching. If you go carbon fiber track pack, then you get a rear seat delete. Why don't you get your butt over here though? I want to show you behind the Alcantara wrap steering wheel in this Shelby GT500. All right guys, come on in. The water's good in this freaking performance race car. Ford Performance badge looking good, the aluminum sill plate. Pedal box is decent. Aluminum brake pedal, aluminum throttle. I just wish, come on, please, Ford. Aluminum dead pedal. They don't give you an aluminum dead pedal on the Mustang GTD. Just saying. I'm 6 feet tall. I love the seats. Yes, you can get the other seats that have ventilation and heated and are not highly bolstered, but come on, man. It's a performance car. Get the performance seats. They look damn good. They feel good. Steering wheel, the Alcantara, the white leather up top, the leather on the bottom. Look at that beautiful crisscross applesauce stitching. The Shelby Cobra. I remember that badge going all the way back to being a kid when we rode around in my dad's 69 GT350. You got all your flat black buttons, massive magnesium paddles to go up and down the 7-speed DCT. It is a manual tilting and telescoping wheel. And then they got the digital gauge display cluster perfect in this generation. I do have it in track mode where the tack goes across the top, but you'll notice when you go through your different modes, instead of having fancy graphics and all that kind of stuff, where they got the fanciness is in the instrumentation. See how it changes? Look at that. It's absolutely perfect. The new dash, this dash, oh man, pour some sugar on me because that is so freaking sweet. Of course, there's a trunk. There's 14 cubic feet of space, and if you wonder what does that look like, plenty of room. What I want to show you is I want to show you what the on throttle feels like. So strap on in. We're gonna go on throttle in this Shelby. All right, guys, we are inside this Shelby GT500. Rapid red. I love seeing that massive hood bulge and the heat extractors on the hood. The dash, they got it perfect. And then they went the other way with it. I don't get it. But what you are gonna get is one hell of a mean muscle car. Are you ready? Because I'm definitely ready. On throttle, here we go. Oh yeah. Oh. Woo, yeah. So the Shelby GT500 has that Tremec DCT. It's a 7-speed, and it shifts with authority, and it shifts faster than you could even say the word shift. I'm using the paddles because I want to be in control of those shifts, but whether you let the car shift for you or you use the paddles, lightning fast. Lightning fast. On throttle, here we go. This thing is a cruise missile. It is a cruise missile, Tomahawk style, off the deck of a freaking battleship, man. The Brembos stop you on a dime, give everybody change. And the sound of that V8 coming out, the exhaust is glorious. I do have my orange towel with me for the eargasms and all the other gasms that I'm gonna have. But here we go, you ready? On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Oh yeah, give it to me. Yeah! Oh my God! Oh, the way this car makes you feel. It's like I forget about it, and then I get behind the wheel of a GT500 again, and it all flushes back. It all just comes right back to you. And you're like, damn, this car brings the goods. Wow. The only thing that's really missing from the experience is the supercharger whine. There maybe is like a little hint, a little of a supercharger whine. That's something that Dodge just got so freaking right on the Hellcats and the Hellcat Red Eyes and the Demon 170. They just got it right. And I don't know why they're hiding from it. Like, let the supercharger be heard. She's working, let her sing. But just like any other Mustang, visibility is great. I like looking out the back window to see the wing there. But I mean, for this car to be as balanced as it is, the Magna-Ride suspension, reading the road like a blind person reads Braille to give you the perfect compression and rebound dampening of all four corners in nanoseconds, it's gonna make you look good, it's gonna make you feel good, and you're just gonna wanna just go on throttle more and more and more. I'll give you one more time because we got other cars to film and I don't wanna get myself in trouble. You ready? On throttle, here we go. On the brakes. Oh my God, give it to me. Give it to me. Woo-hoo-hoo! The communication through the wheel is unbelievable. And you would think that for a vehicle that weighs 4,100 pounds, she would be a pig. She'd be a big pig. But man, is she light on her feet and just wants more. She just wants to dance. She just wants to dance. The suspension is just tuned so perfectly. The shifts. And if you're gonna ask me, Joe, is any of the sound simulated or pumped in? Hell no! That's all real deal, baby. There's nothing like the real deal. There's nothing like the real thing, that's for sure. But we gotta get back to Jaguar Land Rover St. Pete. We gotta wrap this one up, and I gotta give him back the keys. Even though I don't want to, I have to. So let's go ahead, let's get back there, and I'll see you in a second. All right, guys, it's been another rip-roaring, rapid red kind of day. Love this color, love the name. Definitely got to thank Miro and the rest of the crew getting us this 2020 Shelby GT500. Let me know what you think. Out of all the Mustangs since 1965, not counting the Mustang GTD, is this the greatest performer of all time? Let me know in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rights family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. He loves the sweet venom of any Cobra that he sees on a Shelby GT500 or GT350, so he was more than happy to die a pleasant death today after filming this vehicle. So thank you, Stephen. Rest in peace. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.